Hello and welcome to Nutshell Recaps. This video explains the synopsis of the movie, Shrapnel. Warning, there will be spoilers, so proceed with caution. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, it will really help our channel grow. The movie opens as a desperate father named Sin crosses the American border and heads to Mexico. It is revealed that his daughter came here for a holiday trip with her friend, but they never returned. 3 days have passed by since their disappearance, but the authorities haven't made any progress. Thus, Sin has taken to himself to find his missing daughter. Following a lead that he got from somewhere, he arrives at a dump site for vehicles. He sneaks into the property without permission and soon comes across his daughter's car. Sin enters the room nervously and looks about for clues, but he finds nothing. He quickly runs to the closest police station in the following scene and tells them of his discovery. He is subsequently followed by 2 police officers, and they quickly reach the dump site. Sin is shocked to discover that his daughter's automobile has vanished, though. He even recites the license plate in a desperate attempt to prove he witnessed it. However, Hector, one of the police officers, thinks he's making this up. Sin is then ordered to leave the area since he entered without authorization. He later crosses the border and goes back to his farm where his loved ones are expecting him with open arms. But they are disappointed as soon as he walks inside the house. Sin's oldest daughter is upset with him for failing to keep her siblings safe. She just wants to be left alone, despite his attempts to comfort her. Later that evening, Sin and Susan, his wife, had a tearful chat. She tells him it's not his fault and seems to be more understanding. Sin says he found their daughter's automobile in Mexico when asked what he found there. He didn't discover any blood or indications of a struggle, suggesting that the girls were taken without being physically harmed. Sin goes on to say that after he left for the police station, the automobile disappeared. He intends to attend the Consulate General because he believes that even the police are involved. Sin receives a visit from Max, one of his close pals, the next morning. We learn from their talk that Sin was the team's colonel and that both men are former soldiers. They were given extremely risky assignments, the majority of which called for eliminating all criminal activity. Max agrees to assist his pal in finding the criminals who are in charge of the circumstance. He goes on to describe how he will torment them mercilessly until their breathing stops. Sin, on the other hand, wants to settle the dispute amicably and doesn't believe it is essential. Later, he goes to the consulate's office with the father of the other missing daughter. Though he is aware of everything, the latter astonishingly advises the two to forget about their daughters. He discloses that this city is ruled by a lethal cartel that has a reputation for murdering anyone who stands in their way. They killed over 37 people just last week for breaking into their place of business. The consulate further discloses that a year prior, an upright police officer was assigned to this location and attempted to address the cartel issue. However, one evening, a number of gang members broke into his home and shot him and his family members dead. Since then, nobody had the audacity to oppose the cartel, and the entire police station serves their interests. When the 2 fathers hear this, they start to worry a lot. When they ask why their daughters were singled out, the consulate responds that the cartel is notorious for trafficking in human beings. After that, he apologizes and says there is nothing he can do. Sin calls the media and details the entire incident on live television after realizing that no one is going to be able to assist. Along with telling his daughter to wait, he also assures her that help will arrive shortly. Millions of people worldwide, including Victor Garza, the head of the cartel group, watch the news. After some research, he discovers that Sin is a former soldier who was awarded multiple medals for his valor. Victor makes the decision to act out of worry that Sin will pursue them sooner rather than later. Subsequently, he calls the 2 men who abducted the American females by force. They are Hector and his accomplice, that is to say. Victor reprimands them for not succeeding in their goal because they kidnapped the incorrect person. He gives the order for the second cop to be executed right away as a punishment. Hector is temporarily spared, but he needs to assist in removing Sin's head. Subsequently, Victor gives his brother Carlos, his right-hand man, the order to send some mercenary warriors to Texas. In a day, he wants Sin and his whole family dead. In addition, he wants to send a message that anyone who meddles with the cartel, from across the border or not, will face the consequences. Carlos leads a sizable caravan of cartel men into the United States via a covert tunnel early the following morning. They seem to be well armed and ready to murder the family. Sin is seen using his sharpshooter to hunt foxes at his farm around this same period. Attempting to aim, he unexpectedly notices the cartel cars approaching him. Startled, he dashes inside the house, telling his wife and children to go upstairs and hide. After that, Sin fires at the adversaries, killing a few of them. But eventually, the entire gang starts shooting randomly, forcing him to seek cover. In another instance, a police officer is going to eat lunch when he gets a call from the station. To check on the farm where multiple gunshots have been reported, he is instructed. The cartel members succeed in breaking through the door back at the residence. However, Scene shoots the person dead as soon as they enter. Then, in order to follow their movements, he smashes crockery all over the floor. Carlos gives the order for his soldiers to split up since he is getting frustrated with the slow progress. In addition, he makes Hector go upstairs to look for the family. However, this proves to be a poor choice because Scene finds the solitary guys to be easy prey. He ensures his family is hidden while dispatching them one by one with ease. Scene also manages to apprehend Hector, the corrupt police officer, who proves to be a chicken. The house is littered with gunfire and lifeless victims as the gunfight drags on. There are even grenades being launched, which is a serious development. Scene then goes upstairs to distract the mercenaries while forcing his family to exit through the window. Eventually, he and Carlos get into a shootout, but neither of them hits the other since they are playing defense. In the meantime, the previous police officer shows up outside the farm. He thinks at first that it's a case of domestic abuse, but he realizes it's serious when he sees a man who has had his head blasted off. When the cartel men see him, they start shooting at him as well, causing him to hide behind his car. The brave policeman then surprises one of the guys by giving him a headshot as he approaches. At this point, Carlos emerges to assist as the other cartel members turn their focus to the police officer. Scene sneaks out of the home and cautiously leads his family out to the garage, taking advantage of the confusion. Along the way, he uses his amazing aimbot to shoot a couple guys. Simultaneously, the group ultimately defeats the policemen, allowing them to return their attention on Scene. However, our hero finds a means to get to his car and leaves with his family in tow. Then comes a furious chase in which Carlos and his men open fire repeatedly from behind. Scene deftly sidesteps each one, ensuring his daughter and wife are secure. However, he gets an idea when he realizes his automobile is ready to explode up. He pulls his car to the side of the road and speeds off. Then Scene uses his pinpoint aim to take out the thugs as soon as they show there. He immediately kills several of them, including the driver. Their car comes to a stop as a result, leaving Carlos helpless. He attempts to look tough as he lies on the ground hurt, telling Scene the typical bullshit that he will regret it. However, he promptly divulges the location of his brother and the females who were abducted after taking 2 bullets to his legs. Scene shoots him in the head as a way of saying thank you and ends his sad existence. Following this encounter, Scene starts to worry about the safety of his family. For the time being, he sends his wife and daughter to a secure location. He then gets in touch with Max, his closest buddy, and accepts his earlier offer of assistance. The latter shows up immediately and appears to have missed the excitement of these operations. In contrast to Scene, who attempts to resolve conflicts amicably, Max is a vicious assassin who enjoys hurting people. He appears enthusiastic despite the fact that they are facing Mexico's largest criminal organization. Max has an arsenal of firearms and other equipment with him. Additionally, he has conducted some study on Victor's hiding place and the warehouses where the kidnapped girls are kept. The two pals cross the border and move in the direction of the destination in the next scene. They watch from a distance as Victor makes a valiant effort to find out where his brother is. It turns out that he still doesn't know that Carlos has been betrayed in addition to being slain. The former soldiers immediately take out their weapons and sneak into the mansion. With their unmatched fighting abilities, they dispatch each guard in turn. From his chamber, Victor hears gunshots and gets scared. He comes to the realization that there is no way out and that the Americans have finally found him. On the other hand, Scene and Max make their way through the mansion, leaving a trail of bodies behind. They coordinate flawlessly, their military training evident in every move they make. As they approach Victor's room, they encounter the last line of defense, Victor's elite guards. A fierce gunfight ensues, but Scene and Max prove to be unstoppable. Finally, they reach Victor, who is trembling with fear. Victor attempts to negotiate for his life, offering money and safe passage in exchange for mercy. But Scene, driven by the pain of his missing daughter, is resolute. He demands to know where the kidnapped girls are being held. Under the threat of death, Victor reveals the location of the warehouse where the girls are kept. With this crucial information, Scene and Max tie up Victor and leave him for the authorities to find. They rush to the warehouse, hoping they are not too late. Upon arriving, they find the place heavily guarded, but nothing can stop them now. They engage in another intense battle, taking out the guards one by one. Inside the warehouse, they finally find the kidnapped girls, including Scene's daughter. The emotional reunion is heart-wrenching, but there's no time to lose. Scene and Max quickly escort the girls to safety, ensuring that they are all accounted for. The cartel's reign of terror is brought to an end, and the girls are finally safe. In the final scene, Scene and Max are seen back at the farm, enjoying a quiet moment together. They reflect on their journey and the battles they fought, knowing that they made a difference. Scene expresses his gratitude to Max, acknowledging that he couldn't have done it without him. Max, with a rare smile, simply nods. As the sun sets, the two friends sit in silence, content with the knowledge that they have brought justice and safety to their loved ones. The movie ends with a sense of closure and the enduring bond of friendship forged through the fires of adversity.